Hey, welcome to Scissors Hill Farm. We just got a new supply of irrigation pipe. This is aluminum 3-inch pipe, I believe. And what we're going to do today is put on some new risers for them. So these are some custom-made risers that we've created. We've used over the years with our PVC pipe, and we thought they were inexpensive and versatile, so we just make up some new ones for this pipe. This is a 1-inch PVC riser, and it's going to thread into the end of our aluminum pipe, and then each piece of aluminum pipe will have its own valve. We have some fields that are 400 feet long. Can't get this to thread right now, it's not important, but some fields that are 400 feet long, and we only have enough water to supply basically 200 feet at once, so we like to have the versatility of being able to shut some of these off and turn some of them on, so we have a valve in each one. And then we have a wobbler up top, which gives us a really nice uniform application of water. They spread to about a 50-foot radius, so we're able to reliably get about 35 feet of watering width out of each of our runs of irrigation line. We'll use, most of our fields in the farm are 200 feet long, so we'll use 6 lengths of the pipe, equaling 180 feet, and so we'll be able to water that whole 200-foot span 35 or 40 feet wide. And so that's what we generally do most of the time for that. So let me show you how we do this inside. Building some of these uprights, for lack of a better word. So what we have here is, I've chosen Schedule 80 PVC for this part because what's happened over the years is we usually have a male fitting here where you've got threads on the bottom, and then this is just glued to PVC, to regular Schedule 40, the lighter duty PVC here. And it always breaks right at that male coupler. So now what we're doing is we've got a Schedule 80 PVC, which is quite a bit tougher, and this is called a nipple. So we have a long 12-inch Schedule 80 PVC nipple. So hopefully we won't have as many of them break there when we're mishandling them, or even if we're not mishandling them. Over the years they get a little brittle. And that's not a very strong fitting. So what we have now are these female adapters, it's called, threaded on one side, slip on the other. You glue it on one side, that's the slip side, and it's threaded, female threads on the other. So we're going to go from that nipple to a female thread to a little piece of 5-inch pipe that we cut, 1 inch, it'll slide right in. Then to our ball valve, a PVC ball valve, again 1 inch, to another 5-inch section, to another female adapter, and then we've got a little bushing or a reducer bushing that brings us from 1 inch down to 1/2 inch, I believe. And then we've got the actual wobbler unit itself. So we're going to glue all that together. We're going to do one of them for you. Shouldn't take very long. So what we've done is we've cut up all the long lengths of PVC into these 5-inch sections, and then we've eased the edges. You want to show, Allison, what yours is still all rough from the cutting, and then these ones are prepared and ready to go. So they're going to go in without any obstacles, and they're not going to block the flow of water in the future. So that we're all set with. So we'll take, first we'll take a ball valve. I'll go on either side of the ball valve. I find that when you're doing a whole bunch like this, it's better to do a couple sides of one fitting at once if you can. So we'll clean that up with the primer. Clean that up with the primer. The ball valves you want to be open, because if you accidentally spill a little primer inside there, or a little bit of your glue inside there, you're not gumming up your actual ball. So if you have that partially shut or all the way shut, you might get some on the surface there, and it's not going to turn very easily. It's going to make it a lot harder in the future for you. If you get some inside of there, it's not as much of an issue. But still, you want to be careful. So you want to try to not get too much glue in this part of the operation. So I'll take the purple primer. I'll let it drain a tiny bit that way. Purple primer that way. I'll take my glue, go inside my fitting, there, there. I'll put everything together nice and fast, give it a couple turns, quarter turn, and hold it together. So they'll tend to want to push out a little bit, so you just want to hold it 20 or 30 seconds. The instructions say 30 seconds. We'll do it a little faster for the video. So then the next step is we're going to put a female adapter on both ends there. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on this one. And again, I've got my threads up here. So I put the purple primer, see how it's dripping everywhere? Set that down on my cardboard. So that way it's not draining down my threads and softening my threads. I'm paying particular attention to these scratches in here so I don't get a leak right there. Softening that a little bit more. Whoopsie. Again, it's good to have the cardboard down for those kind of mishaps. Set that down. I'm going to do the ends of the pipe first, so it's better to put a little more on this perhaps than inside the fitting, so I don't get as much in my threads. I'm going to set that down, and then I'm going to put it all together. Slide that in, give it a little bit more of a turn, and we're good. We'll just hold it. Okay. Nice to have gloves on for this because it will stain your hands for days. Okay, so now that's good. The next step here is we've got all of our nipples and we have already put pipe thread, or what's it called? Pipe?
Teflon tape.
Teflon tape on them. And let me just show you how to wrap Teflon tape because this is an acquired skill. So let's take this one off if we can. Okay. So what you do is you find which way the tape is coming off, and you're going to put it so it's coming off the bottom of the roll. Okay. And then I always hold the pipe in my left hand, and so I want to come up the threads so that as I'm going on it, it doesn't unroll the Teflon tape. If you go the other way, go the wrong way with it, actually when you tighten it onto something, it will unthread the Teflon tape. So here we go. We're going to take the very end of this. I'm going to hold it down with my thumb. And I put my finger through the center, and these two fingers help provide tension. If you go the opposite way with this tape, it's just going to unroll. You're not going to get tension. So you want to get nice tension. This is the hard part right here, is going back over, so you need to support it. Once you've done that, now you can just pull. So you bring it over itself, over itself. This is pretty thin Teflon tape, so I'm going to go probably about 5 wraps around. If you have higher quality tape, you can get by with just 2 or 3 wraps. And then finally you pinch it real close right there, and then just push down out the threads. Hold on to the end of it so in your next one you're ready to go with a nice wide swath of it. So now we've got that on. Now this glue we just did a few minutes ago. So when we put this in and start to turn this, you want to make sure you're not cross-threading it. But you also don't want to hold here. You want to hold on to the fitting itself so that you don't weaken that glue joint. You don't want to stress that glue joint at all at this point. So I'll just get it hand tight for now. And then the other side of the equation is the very top here, which we've already applied Teflon tape on this, although this one was put on the wrong way. So here you see this Teflon tape is a little hairy at the end. It's also going the wrong direction. So if we start doing this, it may not work, but yeah, see, it's unraveling the Teflon tape. So we're not going to get a good seal that way. The Teflon tape's all going to pull out of the way. So we're going to redo that one too. Set it down right on the threads. There we go. Wrap it a couple more times. That's on. And now when we tighten that on, you won't see any of it unravel anywhere. It's going in the right direction. And again, I'm going to hold it by the fitting. And there we go. So I would just touch these up with a wrench. This is a great wrench, by the way, channel locks, without straight jaws. It has a little bit of a curve a little bit of a arc to the jaw, so it holds round things better depending upon where you have it open to. But see how well that grips that. And then up here on something, that's hexagonal, it grips it really, really well too. So I can get that on nice and tight. And I'm not stressing the glue joint because I'm only touching it there. If you adjust my channel locks again, that on tight, wobbler. And then get this on tight. And we're all set to put it on our pipe. When I do finally put it on the pipe, I turn it around enough so that the valves are all facing towards me. So when you go down the line of pipe that's set up in the field, you can just turn them all and see that all of them are on or all of them are off, and you're not confused by it. Thanks, good luck. So here we are finishing up. We've got, what did we do, 13 or 14 new uprights. I'm just giving them a final tightening here. So they're ready to go up the field. We got a bunch down here on the ground, right here. Thanks, hope you learned something today. There we are, finished product.